All right, another pair of headphones means another crazy name. These are the Sennheiser HD 250 BTs. At first glance, if you don't know Sennheiser, you might brush these off as kind of a non-option. They don't look the flashiest, they're not like super high quality or luxurious. They're on ears, so a lot of flagship headphones are over ears, so they're kind of missing some of the features that other higher end headphones would have. The plastic also, it looks a bit cheap, but trust me, I would say that it's kind of a sleeper hit. The 250 BTs came on the market in North America during early 2021. The box obviously has the headphones along with a USB-A to USB-C cord for charging. And although the build quality looks a little alarming, or at least it did to me at first glance, these headphones were actually really sturdy. Well, like obviously they're not luxurious or anything, but the plastic on the headband is actually very solid. It has some bend to it, so you don't have to worry about like any cracks or any snapping. That won't happen with this. So I'll say this, it does its job. It does its job. Although it's not going to be the most comfortable because it doesn't have any padding and the material is pretty rough. So especially if it's against your head, it might not be the most comfortable to wear over long periods of time, but does the job well. As I said, the headband is not padded, but the earmuffs are obviously padded. And the interesting thing about these headphones is that the ear pads actually slide along the line of the headband. So you can actually see the wire at the top of each ear pad that goes down into each one of them for the driver housing. So that's an interesting design choice. But I mean, it works well. It doesn't really create any problems. So I wouldn't say anything bad about it. So on the right ear cup, there's three buttons. There's one for volume up, down, power button. Obviously, they have different functionalities as well. You use the power button for pairing, volume up button for fast forwarding tracks, and use the down button for going back. So obviously, they have different functionalities. But the one thing that I'm really happy about with the buttons on these headphones, obviously, there's no like touch control or anything fancy like that. But with the buttons, they actually like have the power button indented in between the other two, so you can tell which button you're pressing. Your hand is behind your head, which is a problem that surprisingly persists with a lot of newer headphones. And I'm I'm just happy they did it like this because it solves the problem well. These headphones are sporting a battery life of 25 hours with a charge time of about 3 hours, Bluetooth 5.0 aptX low latency, but the microphone is a single omnidirectional microphone. So if you're worried about how the microphone sounds, all right. So as I said before, omnidirectional one microphone, and this is how these microphones actually sound on this headset. So I was kind of surprised by how clear the quality is because they don't really have a reason to be good because these headphones don't have like noise cancellation or their own transparency mode or anything of the such. For example, like the Sony XM6s, it has like 12 microphones and they use them for both of those other features. But these don't sound bad, and especially for the price range, which I'll get to later, these headphones don't sound bad at all, and the microphone quality is more than passable. Now, the most important thing about them, how do they sound? So I've worn them in different situations, inside, outside, doing different activities, with talking, with ambient white noise, and I can comfortably say that these headphones sound good. The bass is snappy and satisfying. Nothing is really lost in the mids with the vocals, treble, reverb. Nothing is really taken over the show here, and you can raise the volume. You won't experience any type of sound distortion or warping. As I said before, the headphones aren't noise canceling, but they are what Sennheiser calls noise isolating. So I guess that's just from the earmuffs. Don't expect any like super crazy noise cancellation or noise isolation, whatever they want to call it. But these headphones sound good. Just as any other wireless headphones, Sennheiser has their app, the Smart Control app that you can use to adjust sounds, bass sounds, the mids, treble, and even go through 6 different presets that they have for different scenarios depending on what you're listening to. And they also have a special EQ preset that Sennheiser calls podcast mode, which is used to enhance speech clarity for podcasts. So it's pretty nice. It actually makes quite a difference. All right, now that we've gone through basically everything you need to know about these headphones, one last thing, which I said that we would get to later, which is the price. These are $80 Canadian, which I don't think is that bad. They're sturdy. The build quality is good. They have quality sound, 25-hour battery life, and I think the price tag properly represents what you're spending your money for here. Now, do I think it would be better to, just go up like $18, $19 and get something like the Sony WH520s? Yes. But if you are on a budget and you want headphones, 250 BTs are absolutely not a bad option. So, if you've made it all the way to the end, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.